Today in our 2016 Ford Taurus, we'll be looking at the Blue Ox Towing Accessory Kit, 7-wire to 6-wire, part number BX88308. Alright, here's what our kit comes with. The only thing that we don't have pictured here is the large bundle of 4-pole flat trailer wiring. We have two choices of towed vehicle lighting system here. We have our standard bulb and socket. You would use these if you didn't want to tie into your vehicle's wiring. However, in our case today, we'll be tying into our vehicle's wiring using these diodes. We're doing that because this vehicle is equipped with LED taillights. These diode packs will eliminate the backfeed of voltage from the RV sent to the computer in our Taurus here today. We also have some additional strands of wire here to make any additional connections we'll need. We have various electrical connectors here. 3 self-tapping screws, 2 of which will be used to secure our 6-pole round to the front of our Taurus. We have 3 locking pins here. 2 are standard 1/2-inch diameter, and these will secure your tow bar to your vehicle's base plate. We have a 5/8-inch diameter pin here, which will be used to secure your tow bar to your RV. All 3 of these pins are keyed alike, and we have 3 sets of keys. So you have 6 keys in total for those. We have our 7-wire to our 6-wire. 7-wire will go to the RV. 6-wire will go to the front of our towed vehicle. Finally, we have a bag here to cover up our tow bar when it's not in use and stored on the back of the RV. Routed our 4-pole flat wiring through our fascia and up into the engine bay of our Taurus. We'll need to secure it down here to our post here on our base plate as well, just so it's there when we need it. First thing we need to do is make our electrical connections to our 6-pole round here. Take off our dust cover here first. Then we can make our connection point right here. These 2 studs stick down. We pull our wires out here a little bit. Individually separate all 4 of our wires. If all 4 of our wires separated, we'll strip off a little bit of the insulation on each wire. Take our dust cover here. We'll install it over our wires and slide it back a little bit. Take our 6-way connector. We'll loosen up the terminal marked GD. That's our ground. Take our white wire and install it into that terminal. And we'll tighten the set screw. Go to this one marked TM. That's for your tail lights and marker lights. Take our brown wire. We'll insert that in there. Tighten down the set screw. Take this one marked LT for a left turn signal. We'll insert the yellow wire into there. Tighten down the set screw. Finally, we'll go to the one marked RT for right turn signal. And put our final wire, the green wire, into there. Tighten it up. Make sure all the wires are in there nice and secure. Give them a tug back. Once that we verify they're secure, we'll slide our dust cover on down. And we will wrap our dust cover up with some electrical tape to hold it in place and cover up the back of our wiring here. We're good there. And we can install it onto those 2 studs using 2 of the provided self-tapping screws. Get one started. We'll get the other one started. Okay, with those 2 self-tapping screws in, we now have a secure and easy to use electrical connection on the front of our Taurus. Now our wiring is going to come up into our engine bay because we're going to need to tap into it later for a supplemental braking system. So we're going to make sure we leave a little bit of wire inside the engine bay so we can do that. But now, we'll run our wire back behind our battery box here, and we'll run it down. All right, right here you can see where our wire came down from our engine bay. We kept it to the side of our steering coupler right here. We tucked it down behind our fender liner here, and then went around and we hid the wire inside our side skirt of our vehicle here, making sure we avoid any moving parts or sources of heat such as the exhaust. It exits our side skirt just in front of our driver's side rear tire. We brought the wire up over our rear subframe here and zip tied it to a parking brake cable here just to help hold it out of the way. We'll go ahead and cut these zip ties now. We continued up over our rear subframe and secured it to a line here, keeping it nice and tight above our driver's side muffler. And then we secured it to our trailer hitch here. Your vehicle may not have a trailer hitch on it, but if it does, it's a great connection point. If not, you could always secure it up higher to a weld nut that's up there. Okay, with our trunk open now, we can remove these two clips here by unspinning them. We can pull our carpet back. We'll have access to the 3 nuts that hold our tail light in place. Now, for safety's sake, unplug your trunk light. That way you don't accidentally brush your hand up against it while the trunk's open and burn yourself. Now we'll take an 11mm, remove our 3 nuts. Grab our taillight assembly, pull it out towards us, and right here, there's a clip. We can unplug that and set the taillight assembly aside. Now I'll take a piece of airline tubing that we have laying around. We'll drip it down through the bumper here. It came out the bottom here where our wires are. We'll tape our wires to the end of it. Now we'll grab our pull wire and we'll pull our wire on up, just like that. Now we'll take our wiring grommet behind our tail light here, pull it on out. We'll make a slit in it right here for our wires to pass through and go inside our vehicle. Insert our wire. Installed into our grommet. Put your grommet back in place. We'll take the end of our wires here and we'll separate them just like we did on the front. Now we're going to measure out how much ground wire we're going to need. We're just going to attach it to the screw right here for our amplifier because that's the ground point right there. So I'll measure off about how much we need, right about there. We'll cut off our excess. We'll take our wire strippers, strip off some of the insulation. Then we'll take a screwdriver and remove that screw. Take our ring terminal, slide our wire inside of it, and we'll crimp it down into position. And we'll reinstall our screw. Now we can grab the other end of our taillight harness here and unplug it. Let's push the tab, pull to separate. I'll bring it over here so we can work on it. Here's all of our wires that we need to concern ourselves with. There's 5 wires here. We're only going to need to make a connection with 2 on our driver's side here. We'll start with the yellow one here. This yellow wire is going to be our taillight wire. So what we'll do, cut it right here in the middle, just like so. We'll take the end here close to our connector, strip it back. Same with this end here. We'll take some of our included spade connectors here, slide them over our factory wiring, and we'll crimp them down. Now we'll take one of our diode packs here. The output side will go on the wire away from our connector that we unplugged inside the car. This will go towards the connector that goes to our tail light. We'll take one of the inputs here and plug in the other wire. Take our brown wire and we'll cut off some of the excess wire. Strip off some of the insulation here. Now we'll take our additional loom of brown wire that comes with our kit. Strip off some of the insulation on this. And we're going to connect it with the other one. We're going to twist them together. Take another one of our terminals, install it onto the wire, and crimp it down. Make sure it's secure. And then we'll plug it into the other input side. Now we'll take our brown wire that's part of our factory wiring and we'll cut it back here in the middle too. And we'll strip off the insulation on both ends. Take two more of our red spade terminals, crimp those down. We'll take another one of our diode packs. The output side will go away from our factory connector here. One of the inputs goes on there. Now we'll take our yellow wire from our trailer wiring, measure off how much we're going to need, cut off the excess, and we'll crimp down another one of those terminals on. And we'll install that to the other input side of our diode. Okay, at this point, we can plug this back into our vehicle. Now before we reinstall our driver's side taillight, we'll put some silicone sealant on our grommet just to help keep any moisture from entering our vehicle. And give us a nice little seal once it dries. Now we can reinstall our driver's side taillight assembly. Just push the connector in and slide the taillight back into place. We reinstall the 3 nuts on the back side. Now we need to extend our green wire so it'll reach over to our passenger side. Let's take our wire strippers, strip this on back, take one of the blue butt connectors that's included, just install it over there, crimp it down. Take our green wire, take one end of it, strip it back, install it in the other end, crimp it down. Take some electrical tape and tape the butt connector up. This will just help protect the electrical connection from any corrosion that could possibly enter the butt connector. Now we need to route the brown wire that we added and our green wire that we extended over to our passenger side. So we'll fold our carpet back here a little bit, remove our cargo net. All right, with our cargo net undone, we'll unscrew the 2 hooks for it. We'll lift out our spare tire cover, set it aside, and this gray panel here, we'll just pull up and remove it. On our wires, we'll run down behind our carpet, come behind our latch here, it'll be safe there. We'll remove our 2 clips here like we did on the driver's side. Peel our carpet back. Take our wire, run it behind the carpet. We'll zip tie our wires here to the back side of our latch. This will protect them from getting pinched. One zip tie there, one zip tie there. We'll cut off our excess zip tie. At this point, Where our wires ran and secure, we can reinstall our panel here. Push our panel back down. Now we'll remove our passenger side tail light, just like we did on the driver's side. Wiggle our tail light loose, pull back, we'll unplug it. Set it aside. We can unplug our connector here and start making our connections. We'll start with our yellow wire for our tail lights. Cut it right in the middle, right about here. And we'll strip it back on both ends. Put our spade terminals on and crimp those down. Take our diode pack. Again, we want to make sure our output goes towards our actual taillight side of the wiring harness. The vehicle end towards one of the inputs. Take our brown wire, cut off the excess. Strip off some of the insulation. And we'll attach the spade terminal to it. Crimp it down. And we'll attach it to our diode on the input side. Now we'll take our brown wire on our wiring harness inside the vehicle and we'll make a cut in the middle. Strip it back on both ends. Install two more of our connectors. Take our final diode pack. Plug the output side towards our tail light, input towards our connector inside the vehicle. And we'll take our green wire that we extended, measure off how much we're going to need, cut off the excess. Strip off some of the insulation from the green wire, and we'll install our final spade terminal and crimp it on down. And we'll install it on the last input side of our diode. Okay, now we'll tuck our wires all the way behind our carpet. And we'll plug in our connector back to the factory wiring. We reinstall our tail light too. Plug in the connector. Push it back into the vehicle. Reinstall the 3 nuts. We can push our carpet back into place at this point in time. Carpet back in place. I'll put our cargo net back in. We can now close our trunk because that completes our installation. All right, we'll turn our headlights on in our vehicle. And as you can see, our factory tail lights still work. Now we'll step on the brakes and you can see our factory brake lights work. Now that we've verified that our factory lighting works just fine, we're going to test our towed vehicle lighting system now. Now we'll plug our 7 to 6-way flexi coil wiring. Okay, with that plugged in, we can go around the back and test all of our wiring. All right, now we'll turn on our tail lights. And as you can see, both tail lights work properly on both sides of our vehicle. Now we'll activate our left brake light. This will also work as our left turn signal when it's hooked up to our RV. And as you can see, that's working great and it's nice and bright. Do the same on our right one now. And as you can also see, that one's also nice and bright and working fine. Now that we've verified all of our lighting is working properly, we're ready to hook up to our RV and get on the road. And that completes our installation of the Blue Ox towing accessory kit, 7-wire to 6-wire, part number BX88308 on our 2016 Ford Taurus. Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at eTrailer.com.